Any size?
Not sure what we got here yet. Feels just heavy at this point. Definitely got some weight to it.
Big walleye.
Thick one, not super long, but
Look at that.
all right.
We'll take that to start.
Take that for a start. Heck yeah.
Like 5-pounder?
Yeah.
Nice. My buddy Scott Walsh and I are up here in northern Minnesota, kind of a crisp early summer morning, and today's segment we're going to share with you some tips and tactics for a technique we call jerk trolling. Scott's going to share some of the Humminbird technology we're using to really control the boat precisely to put our jerk baits in front of fish that we're long lining those lures behind the boat, trying to catch a few of these guys. Nice walleye.
Yeah, no, that's nothing wrong with that one, huh? Beauty for fish number one. Kind of nice thing about this, especially up here on the bow mount, when you're running the trolling motor like that, typically if we were in an actual trolling situation and had, you know, a couple lines out, you probably wouldn't, you just continue trolling and then you have to fight the fish while you're moving. This is just a little guy. You would probably keep the boat moving so you didn't have to alter your spread, and your crankbaits you'd want at or spinners, you would want at that steady speed and you wouldn't want to stop the boat. The nice thing about this, you have the ability to kill the trolling motor and hit spot lock and actually fight the fish like you normally would. A little more entertaining way to catch them. Just a small one, super pretty though. Bright white fins.
Ooh.
You like a good one?
Yeah.
Definitely seeing some fish on the forward facing here.
Look at that 7.2 medium moderate. Same rod I'd use for casting a jerk bait. Yeah, this is just dead weight, Scott.
Probably big walleye, huh?
Big fat thing. It's a big old white tail, Scott. You know, and a great example, as Scott said, you know, if you're just trolling along and had this fish on, you'd have to take everything out of gear and, you know, multiple lines out there, and you can go ahead and hit spot lock like that and fight a fish like this. Really a lot better experience, a lot more fun. I dug a couple things out of the skeeter locker here to show you what we're using. This is Deepavrik, Ozark Delight. I really like this bright color here. I actually started with a bold shad, which is a lot more natural pattern, and Scott was getting more bites. I figured I'd try something a little brighter since it is pretty flat light today. Any of your favorite jerk baits will work great for this. Shadow Wrap Deeps, another great option from Rapala. And color's less important truly when you're doing this technique. It's more about the triggering action of the jerk bait itself that creates the bites. So running this actually on one of my St. Croix Legend Tournament Bass rods. This is a 7.2 medium moderate split up with 12-pound Suffolk Advanced fluorocarbon. It's what I use for casting jerk baits, but it works great for, obviously, for this trolling technique as well. It's a perfect power and action for fishing a jerk bait. And then, you know, if I pulled some cookies out here because want a little mid-morning snack. If someone in your household likes to bake and got some homemade cookies to throw in the boat, bring those along too.
That feels like a big one, man. That's a lot of weight.
That's what you want.
That's just, it's like, this is the trolling for a guy that doesn't like trolling. It's like, almost like just a real long cast. I mean, part of the reason it's so effective is you're covering water, but you still have that pause that makes a jerkbait trigger bites. Yeah, it's not even that big a walleye, it's just a real nice one, but man, he hit it hard. He hit it hard. I thought he was gonna be a lot bigger than that. Scoop him.
You got him?
Yeah, I got him. He's not gonna give me any trouble. Just a real nice one. Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. On my two Explorer units here, this is kind of my standard setup that I go to for jerk trolling. I have Mega 360 on the bottom unit, And I have Mega 360 in forward mode. There's really no advantage for me to see what's behind the boat that I've already passed over, so I'm strictly looking ahead, and I'm looking for edges and transitions that are coming towards me. Keep a small sliver of map on the left side so I can follow my contours and see what I'm actually fishing. And then on top I do have Mega Live 2 running. And of course I'm looking for fish on it to steer the boat towards those fish, but it's also a huge asset and complements the 360. When you come to a piece of structure, in real time it will give you those edges and show you where the sand meets the rocks. And I keep that kind of as my standard setup. I will, when I'm up here running the trolling motor fishing from the bow, I will pin my trolling motor controls right to the screen so they're there on the right side. With the Minn Kota controls pinned to the screen, I can make any changes I want to speed or any other advanced features without having to use the remote. Of course, the remote is a great tool to use as well. There we go.
One of those dead weight bites, you know?
Yeah.
Which we like,
Heavy.
because they're not darting around.
Yeah, usually that dead weight, it usually means solid walleye.
That makes it a pike, doesn't it?
Acting a little different now at the boat.
I think he saw the boat and got a little ornery there. He's got a little bit of heft to him, but he's not that big. Decent one. Fun fight. Oh yeah.
Getting the backhanded stab. That's one of my favorite colored Mavericks. We definitely don't want to lose that one.
Plump little guy.
Oh yeah.
Give us a good tussle, we'll take it. No bonus.
You know, with just two of us in the boat, we try and keep our lures on either side of the boat. And we just came over just a little pile of gravel, and sometimes that's all it takes to hold a few fish. So ideally, walleyes often sit on the transition of the structure rather than the structure itself, meaning they'll be on the sand right where it meets rock. When you come over a little pile like that, ideally you want to, if it's small enough, you'll just split the structure with your two lines, and if it's, there's one right there.
Nice.
Just like that. So if it's a little bit bigger piece of structure, what you'll do is you'll have one line come through right on the transition and have the other line come right over.
I see a shadow wrap deep on the top of his head.
He does. He's got a, looks like he's got a horn, gone colored horn. Nice sized fish, not a big one. Beautiful though. That one back. We'll get after another one.
Ooh, that's another hefty one. What a great couple hours of walleye fishing, huh?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, if I'm gonna troll for walleye, that's the way I prefer to do it. It's just a fun way to catch them.
There you go. Grab them.
Thank you.
Just one hook.
I got the guide treatment there.
Oh, we're gonna switch gears here. The sun's starting to come out. That cloud cover is heading south, and this is a tremendous smallmouth bass fishery, so we're gonna go chase some of those fish in the shallows here, but hopefully you learned a little bit about jerk trolling today. It's certainly been a fun morning for Scott and I. If you'd like to experience this incredible fishery, it's rainylake.org to start planning your trip. Midwest Outdoors will be back in just a minute. Unbelievable day, man.
What a ride.
Unbelievable.